Hey, it's Mallory, and we're live on Lunch with Mal. That is hopefully going live on Facebook. It's like it's giving it the best it can. Oh, and I think it failed. It's kind of frustrating. I thought it was going to work this time. It was like all lined up, good to go. Oh no, it's working. I think. Hey Dharma, how are you doing? I see it on. Oh no, that's my personal page. Ah, this is frustrating. It's like this should be working. And it got the stream. Facebook shows it showed the connection, showed the stuff was going, and then failed. All right, I'm gonna try and re-add it. So, but in the meantime, how's everyone doing? How are you guys getting on with whatever you're getting on with? Thanks. It's a fox outfit with, complete with tail. So I have to have the ears. I need to get ears that are a matching color, like a plum color. But plum fox ears are not super common. In my meager defense, Jill bought me the fox ears, but I bought the cat suit. Just not saying anything bad about furries. I'm just, I don't know what I'm trying to defend myself from here. I'm as weird as they come. Hey, honey. I don't think I can stream into the group again today. Facebook keeps having an issue. So if you wouldn't mind just putting a link to my profile or to YouTube in the group, that would be super duper awesome. It's trying to, it's spinning, saying it's going to start. It's just not going. So it would be super cool. Probably for Facebook, probably a link to my profile would work better because they tend to hide. Facebook tends to hide links to YouTube, just in case anyone's curious about that. They're kind of jerks about it. Kind of a bummer though, because I guess you could everyone on that post. Anyway, all right. Now that I don't have to worry about that anymore, and that's all done. How's everyone doing? How are we now that we are solidly into January? Like almost alarmingly solidly into January, right? We should not be this far along. We should not be. All right, cool, honey. You rock. I feel like, how are we halfway through January? Or wait, it's the 16th. Well, I guess considering it's a 31-day month and we're noon on the 16th, then yeah, we're exactly halfway through January. I'm sure the second half is just going to evaporate. The state of ads has definitely gotten better, which is nice. Most people I'm working with, their cost per click has come down quite a bit. AMS ads are actually behaving more like I would expect them to. They didn't get as squirrely as Facebook ads did, but they got somewhat flavored. Sorry, someone just messaged me the word flavored. I just read the word flavored by accident. They got, let me minimize that other chat so don't get distracted by it. Moving objects, eyes go to moving object, read word. I didn't see AMS get quite as messed up as Facebook ads did, but AMS is also I don't know, squishier in a way. It's by that I mean the reporting is just such crap that you can't actually make really strong determinations about what's happening anyway. But a bunch of people I run AMS ads for, their AMS ads are looking really good too. Something that may have happened to your ads actually there's 2 and or 3 things that may have happened to your ads. Of course, around Thanksgiving, ad costs went up quite a bit. If you were unlucky, they went up even 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. For some people, they didn't go up until Thanksgiving. And then around the 25th, ad costs started to come down. And then they came down again further on the 1st. But whenever ad costs change dramatically, what that means is that more and or, well, fewer, more and or different people are going to see your ad. Like if your ad costs were 25 cents per click through December, and then January 1, they went down to 15 or 12 cents per click, that means twice as many people are seeing your ads, and they could be different people, meaning that your ad could effectively kind of go back into a semi-learning phase and find a new audience. And then Facebook might tune it for that new audience, whether or not they convert well, because with traffic ads, Facebook isn't tuning for conversion, it's just tuning for clicks. And so that can cause ads that are working great to suddenly stop working, and ads that are not working to actually start working, and some ads just stay the same. And I've seen all of those scenarios happen over the last couple of weeks. So if you have an ad that has kind of petered out, like it was going great, and then after the holidays, it kind of died out, you can do one of two things. If the ad is not marked as high performing, you can just change your budget by like $5 to $10, and that should kick the ad back into learning phase. If your ad is marked as high performing in Facebook, then Facebook won't kick your ad into learning phase when you change your budget. So you'll have to change your audience a little bit, like change the age, maybe alter your targeting a little bit, or just stop the ad and just remake it from scratch in a brand new campaign. And that should make it disconnected from the old ad and not appropriate any of its audience learning or anything like that. I thought you had ads that were working at a positive ROA or ROI, Dharma. I don't know why we have ROAS and ROI, because 100% RO, 0% R. I guess 0% ROI is the same as a positive or neutral ROAS, because 100% ROI is doubling your money. So I guess that's why we have it. We're saying like a one greater than or equal to 1% ROI is probably longer than ROAS. So I get it. Return on ad spend. For those of you who don't know, I might not have said the acronym. But by the way, folks, if you're here, sound off, say hi in the chat. If you've got any questions or anything you're concerned about, or just random comments you want to make or discuss with me, feel free to throw those in the chat as well. But I always just love saying hi to people. It's good times. Hey, Kate, how you doing? How's life treating you right now? Hey, Pippa, I love seeing the highs. It's energizing. I love it. So one of the other things, well, there's there's 3 social media network things I want to talk about. One of them is Facebook ads. You see a lot of people talking lately about how Facebook has sent them a notice that their ads are for a prohibited category of some sort, and they might stop sharing information in Event Manager. And they might be pointing out how Facebook is saying that it might be gender identity or queer issues that are causing them to do this flagging, or maybe it's that they begin to say their accounts being marked as health and wellness. I talked about this before the holidays. What Facebook has had to do is, some of the stuff is kind of a little bit bullshitty, and some of the stuff is legit. So, for example, if I was running ads and sending people to a lead generation form on my website, or I'm sending them to actually purchase something on my website, and my ads are for heart medication, well, if my website shares that information back with Facebook, and Facebook records the fact like, hey, this person clicked on a HeartMed ad and then made a purchase, I might have violated HIPAA, and so would Facebook have violated HIPAA by sharing someone's medical information with a third party. So Facebook will no longer, if you've been flagged as health and wellness, they will no longer send information or accept information back from your website if someone makes a conversion of some sort. And it goes to leads as well. So let's say you had like a how to live a better life with some sort of heart issue book, and you had that up on BookFunnel or something like that, then Facebook might flag you as well, because even though it's not like medication, it's still someone's medical status that could be being shared. Not guaranteed to being shared, but could be being shared. Hey, Kay, how's it going? And hi, Ronnie, as well. That makes sense, actually, Dharma. ROI probably fell off for a lot of people when the ad costs got so expensive in November. So this change that Facebook has made only affects people who are doing anything other than traffic ads. or awareness ads, I guess. But so basically, if you're doing lead ad or sales ads, this could affect you because lead ad and sales ads affect two-way communication between Facebook and wherever that lead or sales ad took place. Now, one of the things that's possible is that I get distracted by Kate's comment. I'm going to read that later. One of the things that's possible is that it looks like if a website gets flagged as, say, health and wellness, Facebook might flag the entire domain. So domain would be facebook.com or thewritingwives.com or bookfunnel.com. So if you're doing a reader mag, like and it's possible that BookFunnel has been flagged as health and wellness because there might be health and wellness books on BookFunnel. I'm sure there are. And so what might happen then is that you might be getting a notice saying that your website that you're sending people to for your lead ad is going to be going under these restrictions and not sharing data back with Facebook, and your lead ads will stop working as a result. What you can do then is, and I think everybody should do this anyway, I think it's just better, is you can actually have BookFunnel use your domain name, like a subdomain. So a subdomain would be books.myauthordomain.com. So my author domain personally is aeon14.com, and I have books.aeon14.com, and that actually goes to BookFunnel. And BookFunnel is a whole help document on how to set all this stuff up. That's actually probably a good proactive thing to do because BookFunnel is likely going to get flagged as health and wellness or some sort of other thing because every book under the sun is there. So you're definitely going to want to use your own custom domain with BookFunnel so that you don't get caught up in that and have your reader magnet lead ads stop working. But it doesn't affect anything beyond that. It doesn't affect like your traffic ads. Traffic ads are completely unaffected. Now, there's verbiage in some of the things that Facebook has said that makes it seem like they might be cracking down on queer ads in general, but it's very squishily worded, and it kind of seems like wording they had a couple of years ago under a once in future presidential regime in the United States. So it's looks like it's going to be like things were in 2016 through 2020, restrictions, which just means they might be a little bit more particular about overtly queer representation in ads, but they might not be. The wording was hard to tell exactly what they were going to apply it to. They were really squishy in the wording, which of course probably just means that they're doing it to give themselves leeway to do whatever they want. But I've successfully run ads under that kind of scrutiny before, and I can do it again if I have to. We adapt, right? That's like how the business works. We adapt to how things are. But I'm not going to go freaking out until it actually happens. I have not had any ads, and I run a lot of queer ads for people. I've not had any ads rejected for being LGBTQ. At all, actually, personally, whether they're going to a third-party website or they're going whether it's like a lead ad going to my own to the client's own website or a third-party website like Facebook. Sorry, God. Or a third-party website like Amazon. Why can't I get my words in order here today? All right. So Kate says, I like this. I read the first part. And I'm like, I want to give this my full attention. I'm going to brag about you for a minute. I just released my 10th book today, and that would not have been possible without your guidance on Facebook ads. Oh, thanks, Kate. That is like the best reward for me, knowing that, I don't know, that I made a difference for people like that and helped you out. Even if it's like just in some minor way, giving you like a nugget of insight or something like that. I'm super happy that I was able to help with that. Hey, Deborah, how's it going? And Judith, hi. So I just noticed I'm a little bit unpolished here. So when you wear rubber, you actually have to polish yourself. Otherwise, you're not shiny. I haven't actually worn this cat suit since 2022, and I took it out of the bag, and I was kind of worried. For those of you who came in late, it's got a tail. I was kind of worried that it might be in disarray because latex just eventually deteriorates. And if you don't maintain it, it will sort of melt and or glue itself to itself. But luckily I had prepared it well enough for long-term storage that didn't happen. So I'm actually pretty stoked about that. This cat suit's hard to get into though. You get in through the neck hole. Your entire body goes through this. It's ridiculous. All right. Kay says, How am I doing? I just finished gathering my 2024 info for my CPA. Spent a lot in Facebook ads. Eek. But a good ROI, and it all started that $120 a day ad you helped me create in Jan 2023 when I accidentally deleted my only winning ad and almost stroked out. Thanks for rescuing me. Scale up. I'm really glad that I got to help you, Kate. But really, the most important question here, Kate, is did your husband give your office a real door? Has that happened yet? Because if it hasn't, I could have a conversation with him that you need a real door. Yeah, and I also saved you from the ads that someone else had made for you that were just burning all your money, if I remember correctly, too. I don't name names, but I'm really glad. I'm so glad you had so much success. Kate's been writing forever. Those of you who know Kate know she's been around forever. And Kate was kind of like, I don't know, not super excited about things because it was hard, and Facebook ads and her amazing writing have been working really well for her lately, and she's super invigorated to keep writing. At least last time I talked to you, Kate, I shouldn't speak for you now, but I was really happy about that your success with the series you were working on, the Hearts Ridge series, had really given you the excitement for doing this again back. It was really neat to see that. Unless it's waned, in which case, oops. But it's hard, right? Writing books when you're kind of like, I feel like no one's reading them, or I feel like things are going backwards. It's hard. It's really hard. Something I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and a lot of them are in the tech world and business world and all sorts of things like that. And there's one podcast I listen to. It's a pretty big podcast, ironically. It's a big, huge podcast you've never heard of and will never want to watch. It's called The WAN Show. It's about computer technology, stuff like that. And it's with Linus and Luke, who Linus is the largest YouTuber you've never heard of. He has like 100+ person company that he's built around his YouTube channel. And he actually makes like products now as much as anything else. And anyway, people will call him asking for career and business advice all the time because not that many people build 100-person companies. Like even Mr. Beast does not have a 100-person company, although he makes way more money than Linus does. Although I guess conversely, he probably loses a lot of money because I hear he doesn't actually like make a lot of, he operates on a pretty razor thin margin. But anyway, people always say, like, how do you find the motivation to do this? And Luke, who like runs all their IT and software development side, he's always like, motivation is a lie. Motivation will always go away. It'll always eventually wane. There's just no two ways around it. Motivation is not a long-term thing. You need to find something other than motivation to keep you going. And I think that's really interesting. I don't know what that is all the time, but I think it's interesting to remember that there have to be things other than motivation. Some of them is just not wanting to starve to death, right? Like, anyway, Mila, hi, nice to see you. I think Kay saying lol no was me. Oh, that's about the door, isn't it? Oh my God. You need a door. Oh my goodness. Kay says, no, the Hearts Ridge is doing great. And I've had Amazon All-Star bonus every month since it came out 2 years ago, only getting better. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. I won't share anything else about your story, Kate, because I don't want to overshare. But Kate's got such a great story. Maybe she'll share it sometime. I'm guessing you probably do, actually. Judy says, I redid my book covers because you pointed out my ad and book covers didn't match. I'm looking forward to swapping them out and seeing how the new covers and new ads go. Oh, that's exciting, Judy. I'd love to see them if you ever want to email them to me, or just when they go live, you can just message me. It'd be cool to take a look at that. Determination is what keeps me going. That and no other income, scary as fuck. Yes, determination is a viable substitute for motivation, and not wanting to starve. Like I tell you, when I first went full time as an author, I had my first like I can live off this money month in October of 2015, because and my threshold for I can live off it was different to a lot of other people's, because I was a CTO, and I made well into the six figures, right? So we sort of have a lifestyle that was built around making well over like $150,000 to $200,000 a year kind of money. And November was the first of 2016 was really the first month where we made enough money that could replace that income. And I quit my job in December of that year. And And then I was like, I'm going to publish 2 or 3 books a year. And I went from November of 2015, November of 2015 till April of 2016 without publishing anything. Because switching from working full time to being your own boss and having to like motivate yourself full time. Yeah, we were at Disney World that month. It was awesome. It's hard. And I was less productive after becoming a full-time writer than I was while I was working a full-time job. I wrote fewer words per day, and my income dropped to half of what it needed to be by April. And that fear was a super powerful motivator. It was very strong. And that's what prompted me to do a crazy thing like do 44 books in 2018. Because I'm like, I'm going to build the biggest fucking backlist that I possibly can, so that if anything ever happens, motivation fails me, health fails me, whatever, I can keep going. I can power through it. So, yeah, it was scary as fuck for sure. Success as an author is actually many times scarier and harder, at least at the beginning, than not making it is, without a doubt. Kate says, really well. I more than doubled my pre-orders and attributed that to running successful ads. This book put me through the ringer, so to see what's doing on day one is very exciting. Awesome. I'm really excited. What do you think about the Kindle short reads category on Amazon? I'm thinking about launching a romance short series this year. I'm curious what you think about it. You can make a killing in the shorts categories. Your books need to be able to fit. The best one is the 1 hour reads. Which means you've got to be like under like 9,500 words, I think, to be safe, to get into that category. And you have to put out 2 or 3 of them a month. If you try to get into Kindle Shorts and you do like 4 a year, forget about it. These people are basically like the serial novel readers on steroids kind of thing. They want to be able to nom on your books quite a bit. And if you aren't publishing a lot, they will forget about you. But I've worked with people who've been very successful doing that. But it's a bit of a mill. But then again, I mean, 2 or 3 9,500 word books a month is only 30,000 words a month. 30,000 words a month is 1,000 words a day. It's not an unachievable amount of words. Well, thanks, everybody. Dharma says, I'm in the process of shifting genres from queer crime thrillers to queer paranormal suspense. Oh, that's interesting. New pen name? Same pen name? I'm big curious. So another, while people answer those questions and follow on and things, is Kindle Short Reads a category or something different? It's a category that you can only get into based on the length of your book. There's 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, 1 hour. I think there might be a 1.5 hour category and a 2 hour category. I think that's the longest of the short reads categories. And the only way you can get into them is by your story just being short. And then it automatically goes in there. Oh, that's cool, Dharma. That'll be really interesting to see how that pans out, how people transition over. I think if your paranormal suspense is mystery thrillery, then I think it should be fine, because they're very similar genres. I love how we have these serious conversations while I'm sitting here in a rubber fox cat suit with rubber ears. Every now and then it hits me. I look at myself, I'm like, what am I doing? But you know what I'm doing? I'm being the real, authentic version of myself, and it's working. So I remind myself of that. The other thing that's kind of been going on, of course, is everybody's really upset at Meta, because Meta has removed fact-checking and put some super questionable language in their terms of service. I haven't looked at it in a week and a half, but basically they're like, you still can't say bad things about people. You can't call someone mentally ill and all that sort of thing. But there's like this specific carve out for queer topics. You can call me mentally ill on Facebook and not get in trouble. But if you're not queer, I can't call you mentally ill, as an example. And so that some people are up in arms about that. Some people are just flat out up in arms about the fact checking, and they're planning to leave Meta February 1st when this goes in. I love Real Mal too. And thanks, Deborah. I like that. I love my costumes as well. They're a lot of fun. So a lot of people are planning on leaving Meta. I'm personally not super duper worried about it. because no matter what people leave Meta for, when it's all done, when like, you know, this, I'm trying to find the website, when people find this mythical better social media platform, Meta's still bigger. Like that's all there is to it. Let me share. Oh, this is April. Well, this will do. Let me share my screen here. Oh wait, no. Uno momento. I need to find. See if someone's going to get something like all of 2024 or end of 2024 updates. But for now, I'll use Statusta's April 2024 thing. So, did it share properly? Yay, there it is. Here, I'll embigger it. There we go. So, what we've got here is the largest social media networks, with Facebook at 3 billion human beings. And this is monthly active users, so people that used it that month. And there are millions, so it's 3 billion. And then YouTube is number 2 at 2.5 billion. Instagram and WhatsApp, also both Meta, owned by Facebook, are 2 billion a pop. TikTok is 1.5 billion. Then we go down through a bunch of different chat programs. And my computer's being really weird. It's grouchy about the fact that I swapped motherboards in this computer, and it's gotten kind of weird. Let's see if that expanded. Yes, it did. Good. And then we go down through a couple of non-English things. Twitter's there at 611 million users, and then Pinterest just sitting around the 500 million, where it's been for some time. So, you take like RedNote. RedNote actually might be around Pinterest size, which is the one a lot of people are leaving TikTok for. Blue Sky, at least as of April 2024, and Mastodon aren't showing up on here. Blue Sky and Mastodon are like Twitter kind of things. Threads isn't on here either. I think Threads would be on here now. I think Threads is up around 500 million people now. But of course, if people are leaving Facebook/Meta, Threads is out as well. So like, where are you going to go? You're going to go to X, you're going to go to YouTube, or you're going to go to some random other thing, or Blue Sky or Mastodon. And from an advertising perspective, even if 1 billion people leave Facebook, which is not going to happen, it's still, of its type of social media website, the biggest. So it's still the place to be. So, I don't think that it's a thing that people really want to worry about leaving Facebook. Not enough people are going to leave Facebook to make a dent. Let me put it that way. And even if they do, if they leave Facebook in droves and go to Blue Sky or Mastodon, then we'll advertise there. But I don't think they will. I think they'll be back. I also don't think that TikTok's going away in the US. I think it's entirely possible that TikTok will shut down this coming Sunday in the US. Because they're playing chicken, right? But what they're going to do is they're hoping that the new administration will reverse course after the 20th, and they'll get back in. So they're probably willing to take like a 2-week to month shutdown in order to be able to get back in and keep doing business as usual. The real interesting question here, though, is that Zuck and Musk both want TikTok out because it's better for them if TikTok's not in the US. They make more money. So, and since they're both vying, I mean, Zuck is sucking up to the new administration, and Elon is like, under the sheets with the new administration. Will the new administration go back on the TikTok thing? I don't know. But I think TikTok's playing chicken. And I think that I personally think that they will either sell, or the new administration will do something that will let them operate in the United States again, even if there is a brief shutdown. That's my personal thought. I just feel like it's a follow the money thing. Someone's going to make someone an offer they can't refuse, or something like that, unless the Chinese government is pressuring TikTok not to sell. I guess that could be another factor that could just change everything. Going to RedNote, though, is ridiculous. Like, why would people go to like another Chinese run site that's not even it's in Mandarin, and then not think that's going to eventually happen in the US as well? It's weird. I personally would be going to Blue Sky or Mastodon, somewhere in the Fediverse. The Fediverse is a new system where social media websites share content. So Threads is part of the Fediverse. I think Blue Sky is. Mastodon is absolutely part of the Fediverse, and then posts anywhere in the Fediverse can show up everywhere else in the Fediverse. I agree, Marisha, and I really feel bad for people who are making their living off of TikTok. Like some people are like, "Oh, I'm glad it's going away." I'm like, "Sure, yeah." There's lots of reasons why maybe TikTok wasn't great or needed improvements, but I'm not glad because there's people's livelihoods that are just gone as a result of this, and there's no glad in that for me. Yeah, see. I'm surprised that the other social media magnates aren't fighting him on this, but maybe there's some other money in play that's keeping him going with this. But yeah, I see. At the very least, this is why TikTok's not doing anything right now. They want to see how this shakes out. They want to see if the new administration will just open it back up and they're like down for a couple of days, because they're not even planning on, from what I read, they're just making it so you can't upload new videos. So they're kind of making TikTok read only in the United States for a couple of days, right? Like, what's that? I'm pretty sure if you get like a VPN, like private internet access, which is the best VPN to use from a privacy and legal perspective, you can just use TikTok anyway. Supreme Court ruled that the shutdown of TikTok is constitutional. So as far as Supreme Court's concerned, the shutdown shall continue. Yeah, this makes sense, downloading their content. I mean, I feel like people should be downloading the content anyway, but yeah, totally. Oh, are they? Well, that's good. That makes me happy that people are like trying to figure out a way to make this not tank people's livelihoods. Like this TikTok going down in the United States would probably be like General Motors shutting down, a level of money being lost from the economy. Like, it's a big deal, and not something that I really want to have happen to people. So yeah, we've got Facebook ads being a little more restrictive if you're running direct sales ads. We've got the meta exodus, the meta diaspora. Is that how you pronounce that word? I suddenly forget. And then we've got the TikTok thing. So social media is in flux, but I mean, that's always happens. That's why you don't want your eggs in one basket. That's why when people say, like, should I run AMS ads or Facebook ads? I'm like, both, 100% both. And can you run some ads somewhere else too while you're at it? Because everything changes. That's the unchanging thing, is that everything changes, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, might not even work today. So yeah, no all eggs in one basket scenario. I don't have anything else to talk about today. I feel like I kind of that was my spiel. But anyone else have any questions or comments or thoughts on anything they want to share that we can roll with? Ads wise, January shall likely continue to be a decent month. It usually starts to flag a bit after the third week. It's really weird. Like, you'd think that through late January, February, and early March, people would be like living inside their houses reading books all the time because the outside world sucks in the northern half of the continent. But they don't. They seem to decrease the amount of reading that they do in February. And I've never been able to figure out why. So gird your loins for that. February does dip a bit. But like any other time, what that means is you need to be consistent and proactive, and always be looking to build up your readership to keep things rolling. No matter what you're going to do, whether it's you run a sale early February, and you call it like the winter doldrums reading boost or something like that. You always want to be doing stuff that's going to offset those downtimes. The thing you don't want to do is things slow down like they oftentimes do in February, and then you sort of curl up and stop doing all the stuff. You got to not do that. You got to resist the urge, and you got to get out there and keep rolling. And also do remember that one of the things that can also get you too is that both December and January are 31-day months, and February is 28 days. So, you're doing $300 a day. Well, being down by 3 days is already $1,000 off the top. Also, January has a lower KU rate than December. Every year since 2015, actually every year since the current version of KU page tracking, and the prior version, because I think we're on 3.0 right now, and 2.0 and 3.0 both were affected by this. So basically, ever since they started paying us per page read, January has always dipped decently from December. So in a day or so, maybe even today, we'll be on the December rate. And November is usually good too. So we're on the December rate, but once February 16th, 15th hits, we're going to see the January rate, and it's going to make your numbers look a little bit worse. Maybe this January will buck the trend, but for the last 9 Januaries, the KU rate has gone down in January. So I'll expect it to do it again. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for the fact that you are going to make, about 5 to 7% less in February, all things being equal. So I think knowing that going in and adjusting your expectations going in will be good for people's mental health. So that's why I'm saying I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm trying to give you guys the straight talk on that. Instagram wanting posts to mention if they're using AI. Yeah, I noticed that little toggle appeared on my Instagram posts. I pretend to be a robot in a lot of my Instagram posts, and I'm tempted to turn it on as a joke, but I feel like it's a joke that would only be on me if I did that, so I don't do it. But yeah, I always just sort of feel like it's in all of our best interests to never disclose anything that we don't have to disclose to these companies. I feel like in every scenario, it's like the social media sites are reading us our Miranda rights and letting us know that everything we say can and will be used against us. That's just sort of my stance on that. There you go. I like it. Publishing January 31st to stop the dip. #stop the dip. I love it. Any experience using Goodreads giveaways or NetGalley is part of a gallery, is part of a galley. Yeah, it is Galley, part of a launch strategy. It's a miles may vary kind of thing. Goodreads giveaways do work. For a while, they had priced them astronomically. They moved them up to like $500 to do Goodreads giveaways, and I stopped doing them at that point because they used to be like $50. It was amazing, and they were fabulous. But now I've heard they've lowered the price. I've not double checked these numbers myself, down to like something much more reasonable. And I've talked to a number of people lately who said that they were very effective. So I think that you can absolutely do well with Goodreads giveaway. NetGalley, if you have your own ARC team and can get your readers to review your book, it's better than NetGalley. If you don't have that, NetGalley can be pretty good. The downside to NetGalley, though, is that people seem to think it's like part of their God-given duty to give you a 3-star if they think you deserve it. And possibly even if you deserved a 4-star, they'll give you a 3-star just to make sure that you understand you have to improve. So keep that in mind, that it's not, NetGalley can be a bit of a double-edged sword. But if you think your book's really well written and you know that you don't have, it's professionally edited and you know that you can do good stuff, then yeah, absolutely. You could do that. My mouse battery is about to die. Well, I'll survive. December's rate is below November's. Has that happened before? I'm gonna go look at my chart. I've not updated my chart in a little bit. I'll be doing that soon. Jill, I guess we just know that just now, wouldn't we? Because that'll have just come out today or yesterday. What's the drop? What's the change? All right. Just need to close some additional windows that are acting up on me here. Uno momento. Okay, actually, before I did mention the short month, yeah. To Joe, what's the wisdom on ARC services in 2025? I've been looking at something that could streamline ARCs with rapid releases. Is Booksprout good for that? I mean, if you've got an ARC group that is responsive and reads your books and gets reviews up, then you don't need a service. If you need something to help you chase after people and manage people, or you're going to do the crazy thing where you run like a 250 person ARC team, which can get you boku reviews on day one and can actually give some pretty good boosts, then I would use an ARC service. If you're just like, I just want to get like 10 to 20 reviews on day one and make sure I don't have stupid typos in the book, then you could probably manage it yourself. 46 to 44. Okay. You can always count on Craig, right? To get that number out for us. So, my fine folks, this is, oops, that was the wrong thing I clicked on. Present, share screen, share. Oops, I'm going to hide that because that's in the way. So this is the KU rate from July of 2015 till August of last year. I haven't updated it since then. The blue line is the official rate. The red line is the rate adjusted for inflation. The bottom here is 0.003. So while it looks like we've gone down to almost zero, it's really, the top line is half a cent per read, and the bottom line is 0.3 cents per read. So August, where are my Februarys? Okay, so this is a January. This is a January. September. This is a January. So actually December going down from November is actually pretty consistent. This is a November, this is a December, yeah, down. So it's 0.49 to 0.46. Man, those heady days where we periodically got up above half a cent per read, we thought like it was going to be the new normal. It was amazing. And Facebook and Amazon's like, gotcha. November, December. Okay, yep. November flat, a wee bit down to December. November, December pretty flat. And then 2023, November, December was a pretty solid decline, and then down again into January. So yeah, it does look like we always see a bit of a dip from November to December, and then the bigger dip into January. And then, by the way, I did this last time to show that August and July are almost always some of the lowest points of the year for the page rate as well. Not consistently, but they're on the lower end quite a bit. So yeah, so actually that December being down a bit, and not a lot, but just a bit, tracks. So business as usual, which I suppose is okay. But the fact that we're actually up in the 44 to 46 range, that's actually pretty good. That's normal for that time of year. So I'm glad to see that we haven't seen a big dip like that. I will update this, and I'll probably do a video about it at some point, just kind of talking more about where things are going once we get with the end of 2024. In the past, I always have to double check when I'm talking about years. I'm like, which year is it? I forget. But with that, I've now you guys have helped me reach my allotted time of 45 minutes, which is what I usually try to shoot for when I'm doing Lunch with Mal. So I appreciate the assistance with the last few questions. And I hope that you guys have an absolutely fabulous end of the week and weekend. There will be no Lunch with Mal next week because I'm having a surgery on Tuesday, and I will be laying in bed moaning or something, I'm sure, on Thursday. No, I'm actually not expecting to be in a lot of pain, but probably won't be up to doing this. But I should be back the next week. It's not something that's going to have me out of commission for too long. It might be shorter because I won't be able to. I have to like keep moving around. I can't sit for more than 30 minutes. So I guess it'll depend. Actually, I should double check one thing because I have some follow-up. Nope, my follow-ups are not on Thursday, the 30th. So I'll be around. So I should be able to do it. I hope it goes well too, and I think it will. I think it's going to be pretty fabulous. It's going to make for a wonderful improvement to my quality of life that I'm really looking forward to. So, oh, you wait for Craig's calculation? Yeah, I know exactly, right? Like he's like the official word has come down on the tablets that Craig brings to us from the mountaintop. All right, folks, have again a fabulous day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Ciao.